Emily Lazar, lead singer from September Morning, artist that just mixed her album. And we were writing?
A little bit.
It took a while, right? In the beginning, she was just shaking her head, going, guess what? Listen to my demos, because this is not happening.
Well, I'm just curious, like, what was the
Right.
difference, if you could describe the difference between,
I mean,
where you thought you were coming from and where you were going?
I mean, in rock, I don't know if you guys, what your fortes are in music, like, where you stand, but for rock, there's so many different ways of mixing rock, and I think that I grew up with, like, mixes that weren't as clear and concise as Chris's, and I think that, in a way, looking back on what we did is, and then hearing my album now and comparing it to what I hear,
Is
from
Bob
other
mixing
artists.
it now? Just checking. Anyway.
No, Bob's not mixing. But I listen to Spotify and I listen to my friends who are in bands that are signed and they're out on the road and stuff like that, and I hear their mixes and then I hear mine and I'm like, it's so clear, and it's like, and there's, not that theirs are muddy, but there's such a difference in the way you mix compared to other people. It's just, and it's not that what you do is wrong or what they do is wrong, it's just, art is subjective, and I think that what we lose as artists and what we lose as mixers and producers and things like that sometimes when we're in the studio because we're so passionate about what we do, is that we forget that art is subjective and that everybody has their opinion and there's no right and there's no wrong. Because if there was, this would be the Olympics and there would be judges and there would be gold medals and silver medals. But it's not that. It's art. And there's been amazing artists that have come out and sold maybe 3 records, and then 20 years later somebody's picked it up and been like, this is the best thing ever or something like that. I think there was a guy in Africa that this happened to, and they put out the record and everybody bought it. And so it's like everything is subjective. And I think that going into the studio, to have an open mind and to just trust who you're working with. And if everybody has trust in who they're working with and has the rule, my rule is just try it. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. But if you don't try it, you're never going to know. So my whole thing is just go in and try it. When we butted heads, there were things I wanted you to try. Sometimes you're like, oh, I don't want to try this because I know it's going to not sound good. But like, you tried it because I needed to hear it. Because as an artist who's younger and who hasn't had 15 or 20 gold records or platinum albums or whatever, like I need to learn and listening back and being like, oh, I understand, and that's how that works, and oh, cool, and that's going to teach me and make me a better artist as it is. And I think with the producers and the mixers and the people that have done this for a long time, if they have patience with the younger artists and they want to show them and they want to teach them, you're going to breed a whole new group of artists that has a lot more to say and in the right way, and I think that's very important.
So what happened with Emily was, I was dishing it out the first couple of dishes I sent your way, you just sent it back. No. This is, and they were saying, check the demo, there's a vibe there that you're not getting. And I'm like, really? What am I not getting here?
Yeah.
Because I'm looking at my 5 Grammys or I'm looking at my whatever, and I'm thinking, what's going on here? This is working. This isn't working. She's not happy. I'm getting the phone calls. Hey, Chris. Yeah. This isn't working. Well, what do you mean? There's something about the vocal or something about the guitar or something.
Well, to me, and not to interrupt you,
go ahead.
but for me, sometimes it's harder because I'm, an artist who's not super technical and has theory under her belt and things like that. But I know on a passionate level and on an artistic level that when I hear something and it moves me emotionally, that's what I want to stand behind. And if I hear something back and it doesn't move me that way, or it feels flat, or it feels this, or I can communicate that, but I can't be like, this fader over here, I can't do that.
Right,
so
you're communicating.
So sometimes there's a communication problem. And I think with men and women, there's always a communication problem.
Exactly.
So you add that
add
that communication problem to our communication problem as artist and mixer, and you get a whole ton of communication problems. So I think on that level, that's where we kind of but we fell into line and we figured out how we were speaking, and
just tapped exactly the core of what people who make music, why they have problems, why you guys are in the problems, why we all are in the problems. Is because the men, and I'm just going to point out, guys like me that you have to deal with, here's what we don't do. We don't listen.
But
We
I
don't
don't
hear
think
your
that's true.
language.
That's not true exactly.
Well, we don't hear how you communicate, and a lot of it has to do with emotional.
I think that's a little black and white. I think I've worked with plenty of men, all the guys in my
Bob.
band. Well, no, but all the guys in my band. I have a lot of guys in